Hey guys, welcome to the latest video in my book club series. So the latest book, which I mentioned at the end of my last video, is Sober Curious by Ruby Warrington. I did dry January and I actually decided to extend my dry January to dry January to March. So it's mid-February by the time I'm recording this, and I just wanted to set myself a personal challenge. I'm not an alcoholic, I don't have a drinking problem. And for a lot of 2018, I thought a lot about alcohol and how it fit into my life and how I wanted it to fit into my life, and especially the culture of alcohol in the UK, how okay I was with that and how much I was willing to be a part of it, if that makes sense. Without sounding snobby, without sounding like I'm high and mighty, because I am not. I just have been thinking a lot about my relationship with alcohol in the past few months, and I know so many other people have as well. So many of you reached out to me on Instagram when I mentioned I was reading this. Sober Curious is Ruby Warrington's book about discovering a life beyond alcohol. And again, she's not an alcoholic. It's written from the perspective of the everyday person who just drinks because everyone else drinks, and drinks because they like to go and socialise with their friends, or go on a crazy night out, or relax after a stressful day, or get through a really awkward family wedding, whatever situation that, 99% of us have been through. We're not alcoholics, we don't have a drinking problem, we're not compulsively drinking, but we are drinking, and often drinking for the sake of drinking and using alcohol as a substance, because it is a substance and it's a very socially acceptable substance, and especially in the UK it's almost encouraged that people drink. What I like most about the book is it focuses on the positives of cutting out or cutting down on alcohol versus the negative effects of it. It's not a shamey book, it's not addressing people who alcohol has necessarily ruined their life. So it's not a negative book, it's actually really fun and quite funny at points, I thought, and focusing on what you can gain and what you can add to your life because of sobriety. So weekends are one thing that I've noticed, and she mentions a lot in the book. When you don't drink, it kind of feels like you've gained time, especially if you do like to enjoy yourself at the weekend and let loose. The amount of days I've lost to hangovers is just an insane amount of hours in my life where I just couldn't move, couldn't think, couldn't eat, couldn't do anything, was just a blob on the couch. And my body clearly needed that to recover, but my weekends this year so far have been so restorative. I think my time off work and just in life is so much more restorative being sober versus having to, try and relax at the weekend, but also dealing with a hangover and the anxiety that comes with that. So the most interesting bit for me was she talks about FOMO, which is fear of missing alcohol. And this section made me think the most about, especially in the UK, the culture of alcohol, and it did make me panic in a way, and I wanted to know why I was so panicked. So I thought to myself, imagine if I never drank again. And then I almost went through a list of things in my head and scenarios where I felt like I would be letting people down if I didn't drink, or I felt like I wouldn't enjoy myself as much. And that is the FOMO she talks about. It just made me think a lot about how we're encouraged to drink, like I've said, and also how in the past I've used alcohol to be the person I wanted to be, or to forget about the aspects of myself that I didn't like. And not in a negative way, not in a really judgy way. I've not felt like I can never drink again after reading this book. it's just made me curious. So I think what it says on the tin, it delivers. If you're curious about a life without alcohol, or even just cutting down, I think this book will be a great read for you. Ruby is a spiritual person, as am I, and that did come across a lot in the book. A lot of people are incredibly health conscious, spiritual, focused on being present and mindful, and as someone who is mindful and does want to be present and does want to make healthy choices for my body and my mind, I had to question how alcohol fit into that and whether it even fit into it, if that makes sense. So this isn't like a handbook to getting sober or never drinking again, and I think if you really want that, then I would go for one of the more traditional books that are aimed at addicts and alcoholics and people with alcohol dependency, because those books will probably contain a lot more of a practical, like step-by-step guidance. This book more invites you to look inwards and analyse your own relationship with alcohol and how it fits into your life, and just makes you think a lot. I took my time reading this book because I had to have moments in between chapters or even in between sections where I had to put the book down and just think, wow, like what's coming up for me right now? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? And just examining why. So I think if you're quite an introspective person, this book will really benefit you. And if you, like me, have maybe extended your dry January journey, or you just want to consciously drink less this year, then this is a great one to pick up. I really enjoyed it. I will leave the link below if you want to order your copy. I would love to know if you've read it as well. Next time around, I'm chatting about a legendary personal growth thought leader. I am talking about Brené Brown, who is so well respected and so quoted and referenced in almost everything and everyone I follow and admire. So I'm currently reading Daring Greatly. That will be in next month's book club video. But anything else you think I should be reading in the future, I'd love to know. I'd love to get your recommendations. Please subscribe if you're new. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.